Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of May the 31st, 2024. Mars Chronicles Volume 6, The Canopy's Duty, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado, and with me is Mathieu from France. How's it going, Mathieu?
Bonsoir. It's going pretty well. And you?
Oh, really good, really good. Yeah, I think we just wrapped up our contract we had with one of my clients, and that thing
Hmm.
success. So I'm real happy about that one. So anyway,
Congratulations.
yeah, thanks. And from Germany, or Deutschland, I guess would be the better term, wouldn't it? There, Smendrick, Smendrick 19.
Hello and a very warm welcome to you, Creaky, and to you, Metu. Hope you are all fine.
Yeah,
And
we're doing.
yeah, my voice sounds a little bit strange today. I think I had a 2.5 hour long phone call just a few minutes before.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm very, it sounds maybe a little bit exhausted, or yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
how
yeah, I
to
hear you.
explain.
Well, hopefully,
Sorry.
hopefully you don't have to talk too much on this stream. Although we do want you to talk because we're going to have a really good time doing I guess doing the manga reading, because what I kind of like to do manga readings the same weekends, or at least I've adopted that here relatively recently, the same weekend that Radio Chaos does their manga weekend. So I kind of like to do that, to kind of have, so we have a manga weekend, type thing. So, and I see the Bad Man's out there, and I see Vladi is out there, and I see David also from France is out there. So one of your compatriots is on here, Mathieu. That's pretty cool.
I didn't even know that he was
Yeah.
French.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, David Alexandra, he's in France as well, So
Salut,
yeah,
copain.
I'm sorry.
No, I said something in French.
Oh, okay. Well, bonsoir, something like that.
I
My
said what I said was basically hi, friend in French.
okay, yeah. So anyway, yeah, my French is horrible. I used to know a little French, but now I don't know much at all. So
You
anyway,
know, I'm French and my French is horrible.
no, I doubt that very
No,
much.
like French. I mean, no, my French is good because I did study the French language in high school. Like that was my major was French literature and English literature. So
Ah,
I'm rather well educated in the French language, actually in English language and literature too.
oh,
But when
okay.
it comes to most people, like French is a complicated language, even for French people. And trust me, there are many French people, like people, non-French people learning French tend to speak better French than a lot of French people.
Ah, well, I can tell you, your French is a lot better than my English, I think, and certainly your English is a lot better than my French too, I think. So,
I'm I'm good in English when it comes to writing, to reading, like especially writing. As I said, I did study English literature. I did write full-on English essays of like 9 pages. I had really good marks in English. I basically you could put me in any English speaking country and it would be like easy for me. I think in English most of the time, but the thing that I lack is practice, oral practice, because my accent can be strong French accent sometimes,
yeah,
no matter how much I try to articulate and like I try to make a good accent. I
I don't
fail.
know. I think women with a French accent, it just sounds real sexy to me. You know, I mean, it's just I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the stereotype in my brain, I guess. Something like that, you know.
Oh, I love your French accent, and I'm like, I'm trying to get rid of my French accent.
Okay, and I know Smendrick, I know his English is excellent as well, and
Mm-mm.
his English is a lot better than my German, I can tell you that. And oh, guess what? We just had Angelus join us from Brisbane and Queensland, Australia, from down under. How's it going there, Angelus? Good day.
It's a nice and chilly morning today.
Damn, really? Well, it's hot here in Colorado. Well, not that hot. I guess it's around 80 degrees, which is what, about 25 degrees Celsius, maybe, somewhere in that area. So
I have a question for you, Angelus. I just realized right now you're from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if it was true that every fucking thing in Australia was trying to kill you.
Yes.
And you are still alive, Angelus.
Yeah.
Even the rabbits are lethal in Australia.
God damn.
You should Google drop bears.
Drop bears?
No, I won't. I would like to do nice dreams tonight. Okay.
Ah.
So I won't.
Or better yet, just to hear Creaky's reaction, get him to look up drop bears Australia and see how he reacts.
Let me just type that into Professor Google here and see what that rascal says. An urban legend that focuses on bushwalkers have been known to be dropped on by drop bears. Those would be koala bears, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, koala bears are kind of cute. Now, I hear they're not soft and cuddly. I hear they're real wiry and hard, is what I've heard, you know. So, where did I hear that from? I think I heard it on a show. Yeah, it was Abby Cornish said something about that one time on a Craig Ferguson show. I think that's what it was. So, yeah.
And they are just that, you know, they're just cute little cuddly things that have got claws.
Yeah.
To help them climb the eucalyptus trees because that's their food.
Ah. Well, whenever I get to Australia, we got to take a look at a couple of those little critters, as they would say down south here in America. So anyway, welcome back. Welcome aboard. They're not back. Welcome aboard there, Angelus.
Always.
And just a reminder that we do have Rosa's Queen Studios bust of Alita. We would really like to reward her or award this to her, you know, as an expression of our appreciation and admiration, you know, because she brought Alita to life. And without Rosa, I don't know if Alita would have been as big a hit as it was, because, you know, certainly the other actresses that made the finals and that were pretty good, you know, for sure. I really like them, but Rosa was there was Rosa, and then there was everybody else below her. So anyway, we would like to give this bust to her, and you know, not just give it to her, because for us this is like the Oscars. We want to give her this, and this thing here costs, if you go Google the price of this right now, it's like $5,300. So this is not a cheap thing right here, you know. So we want her to know that she's our queen, and we appreciate her a ton.
I had a dream last night where when I was in LA for my vacation, and I met Rosa, met Rodriguez for some weird reason. Like, as in, met him in LA as opposed to Austin, Texas, where we both meet him.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, and ended up like at a random coffee shop, shouted Rosa latte or some description, and the excuse me, and then the dream ended. So it's like
that seems to
I'll
be a
take that.
recurring dream with you, Angelus. Isn't that this is the second time you've mentioned this? I think.
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty cool.
like just like excuse me, like some minor details change, but it's like always, you know, the I guess the trope of meeting a celebrity whenever you're, you know, out and about.
So anyway, yeah. Well, Smendrick says he needs a bigger display. I don't know, Smendrick. Get you one of those 60-inch television displays and put those up. That'll help.
Yeah, you're not completely wrong, but it's difficult to move the keyboard, mouse,
Yeah.
so in front of my television, computer, and 55-inch flat screen TV set
Yeah.
are connected.
Ah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
for me, it's a bad ergonomic position.
Ergonomic, yeah.
To look at the big screen on the television set and typing and and moving the mouse at
I
the
hear
same
you.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I know I need 2 monitors on my system because it is really hard to run this. Well, it's not that hard, but it would be a little easier to run streams if I had 2 monitors. You know, I mean, I've only got one hooked up. I did have 2 monitors at one time when I was in North Carolina hooked up. But
okay.
since then, since I've moved back to Colorado, I've only got 1 monitor. So
I couldn't do it. I have so many systems here. 4 19-inch monitors, but now my eyes are so bad. Even if I sit just a few centimeters away from the screen itself, it's all blurred and shadowed and has nothing to do with the technology, but really with the eyes. Yeah.
Well, what I'll have to do when I'm reading the manga is we'll have to describe the scene a little better than I've been doing, not just read the words.
Yeah, we have. You are completely correct with this. My problem is this live stream window. Is has two I don't know how, 2 bars at the top and at the bottom, and so the real picture is very, very small. Yeah. Limited to the width of the 19-inch 16 to 10 ratio.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, that's right. Or 16 to 9. You mean maybe something like? Well,
it's. I think it's 16 to 10.
Okay.
It's a very old this type of monitor. Ido has on its desk, on its not used to monitor the functions of Alita, but he has a very smaller monitor, and exactly this type of monitor I have here for devices.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, Vladdy says he's looking for a 65-inch. I have a 65-inch television, but not hooked up to my computer. It's just a.
I don't have the
TV,
place.
you
I don't have the place for enough place for a 65. The 45
Yeah.
is fits exactly between the two
Cool.
shelves.
Yeah.
No, not shelves.
Yeah, I know.
How do you say Schrank?
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Cupboards,
Yeah.
displays,
Yeah, something
cabinets.
like
What?
Yeah,
what?
I know what he's talking about, because my place in North Carolina is the same way. I've got I think it's like a 48-inch television there, and it's in between the shelves like that, and it's got a little sort of oh gosh, kind of like rollers or something. You can roll it in and out of between the shelves, you know. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's here my problem. So I would appreciate a 65-inch television set.
Well, I know my brother has tried to get me to to give me his 65-inch television, and have me buy an 85-inch television, because he wants a bigger TV, and he doesn't have the room in his house for it. You know,
that would be nice to on a
nice for a brother
movie,
to do, right?
Alita movie on a 85-inch television set.
Oh,
85 inches. That's rookie numbers.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I know it's awesome watching IMAX of the IMAX version of Alita on my 65-inch.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and I have watched it. I guess on my Oculus, you know, it's like being in the movies when you're in that, you know. So anyway, it's pretty cool. So
yeah, I don't quite understand it.
yeah,
but there is an issue with the ratio.
Yeah.
Of movies.
Yeah, they're all widescreen now. They're all 16 by 9 now instead of the old 4 by 3. So, you know, it's it's a lot different.
Yeah, no, you have another expression. It has less to do with this with the screen size, but with the
with how it
borders.
gets
On some screens or for some media, you can see more of a pic of a single movie scene than as shown on other screens.
Yeah,
I have forgotten the exact terms for this. Maybe someone in the chat can.
Aspect ratio.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not the aspect ratio. It's some Übersteuerung. But I don't know exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all right. We hopefully one day, maybe you'll get one for Christmas.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
Maybe Santa Claus will bring you one.
Hopefully we have then more subscribers.
That's
Christmas.
Right. That's right. Anyway, moving right along here, I guess we want to just let folks know we still got the Alita sequel petition out there, and I think we had 178, 196 last week. I think. I'm not sure, but anyway, we picked up 4 or 5, and you know that may not sound like a lot, you know, but it's increasing every week. I mean, we're not losing. We can't lose a signature, obviously, because it's not like a subscriber, but you know, it is increasing every week. So you know, we're more and more people are wanting to see a sequel. And if you haven't signed the sequel petition yet, then you know, just there's a link below the image on the screen there, and it's also down in the description below the screen that you see there. You just click on it and put your first and last name there and email, and you've signed the petition. You don't have to give any money or anything like that. It's just account for the number of people that want to see the movie sequel. And we still got the Hero Arm campaign, and I think we haven't, and that's because Creaky hasn't done a very good job of promoting this either, because I've been kind of busy working on a project that is kind of, I guess, taking up a lot of my time. But we've got $5,244.89 in the bank, so we have money. And Grüß Gott, Sven, wie geht es dir heute? Anyway, so we're trying to get in touch with Open Bionics, Tilly Lockie's mother. She works for Open Bionics, and I know Challenger ST is kind of yeah, it's okay, Vladi, if you can't do any donate right now. It's all right, man. We're good, Yeah, I have liaised with ST already, and he, I sent him another DM today, because I'd sent him. He had sent me one. He said he'd give me Sarah Lockie's email address as soon as he got a response from her. And he didn't get a response, so I sent him another DM, and he acknowledged it. Yeah, I haven't received it yet. So I sent him another one today. So probably what I may do if ST doesn't answer me, or if he doesn't get a response, I think he'll answer me. That's not that, but I think that maybe Tilly Lockie's mom may be real busy or something like that, and maybe hasn't been able to send an email. But I really do want to let her know that we have money, and I want to find out, what's the I guess what's behind, the query that she gave ST is she had heard something about, maybe there was another fundraiser going on, and that they still had $1,000 left over from the last one that Alita Army gave them, which I was unaware of, actually. And I think that's when Tony actually did it, or Star of Alien, rather. But anyway, we're going to get there eventually. There's no problem there. So anyway, there's the link that you see on the image below the screen there. That's a GoFundMe link. If you find that to be a little intimidating, then there's also a tip jar down there that all of that money will go toward the Hero Arm campaign. And there is no administrative fees here. The Creek is not going to get any of this money, nor is Angelus, or none of the panel. None of us are going to get any of this money. This all goes to the Hero Arm campaign. So, okay. Anyway, no amount's too small. And when I do start promoting this again next week, just repost it, and you'll have done your job. And I think earlier I put a link in the chat if anybody wants to join the Alita Gaming Network on Discord. We've had some fun on it. We're still in infant stages right now. Matu is doing a lot of the administrative work for me on it, because I'm not really that up on Discord. So anyway, but we haven't done a whole lot on it because we've both been pretty busy. So, but I have been putting links in it, for folks to see, maybe the Radio Chaos stream, this stream, and I've been putting some links to videos, in one of the channels. And I know Angelus he's put a couple of videos up there for Stellar Blade, which is pretty cool. I've sat and watched those things a couple of times. One of them is kind of like rollerball, it's, or not rollerball. Well, it is like rollerball, but it's more like motorball. And, of him playing that, the part of Eve there, I guess. And it's a third-person perspective game, so you can see Eve, skating on this, I wouldn't call it a track. What is that, Angelus? It's more like I don't know, more like some sort of like you'd go to a water park or something. But anyway, it's really,
yeah, probably a bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. but anyway, it's pretty cool, you know. And man, I'm telling you, I've heard that they're going to come out with a PC version of this, and when they do, I'm in. I'm going to get that sucker, you know, because I'm not a big game player, you know, at all, you know, but I do play a little bit of. There's an old 90s game called Eradicator. I'll play that every now and then, but I'm still not, you know, I may record that and then, you know, put that on the channel, you know, maybe try to this particular game. It's an old game. You can't put skins on it like you can on new games, but what I can do is I can record it, get the video, and I can edit, you know, Alita into it as fighting whatever these critters are in the game. So we could look at that too, you know, but I haven't done that yet. So, and I did put a Martian memory game that Chaos played once, the English version. So there's some stuff on there. You can have fun with it. I know Smendrick is on there as well. So, you know, we're having fun with it so far, but it's pretty much in the infant stages right now, I would say. So, okay, guys, I guess that's about all I can think of in terms of the administrative stuff, so, or introductory stuff. So I guess what we can do is just go ahead and get into the manga itself. Let me go get this. There it is. Can you guys see that okay?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I try with a Zoom class here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I'm going to try to, what I'll do is I'll try to describe some of the scenes in there for you too.
Yeah.
So
that would help. Thanks.
Yeah. So anyway, if you remember, where we left off last month, where the dome got ruptured, but looks like somebody had detonated some kind of explosive up there, and it ruptured the dome, and all the air was being sucked out, you know. And there you see that top image right there. It looks like that looks like probably the old doctor. I can't remember his name now, and he looks like he's holding on to Alita and Erica, you know, while everything's being sucked out, you know, and you can see everything going, you know. So anyway, there you see all of the atmosphere being drained out of the dome. And Erica says down there on the bottom, she says, "The people, doctor." And the doctor says, "Don't look at them, Erica. It's a shame, but there's no way for us to save them," you know. So in other words, there were, if you remember from the last week, there were refugees that were escaping this town that I guess I can't remember the group that attacked them. That was kind of a false flag event, and it kind of attacked the town and killed all the people and all that, but not all of them, because some of them got away, you know. And they were all walking, you know, toward this new town, actually, or a new location there in New Caledonia on Mars, and I think is what it's called, or Cydonia, on Cydonia. And so there, you know, they're in that excuse me, Erica, Alita, or Yoko, and the doctor, they're all inside his van. So, you know, I don't know what's going on with that, because if you had something being sucked into space like that, the van would get sucked out with it probably, but maybe the van's so heavy that it can't do it. Perhaps, I don't know, you know. But anyway, the Erica, Alita, and the doctor, they're all in this van, and the people that are outside, they're just exposed to the atmosphere. They're not going to do too well, you know, because they're going to be sucked out, you know, into space, you know, due to the, I guess, sabotage of the dome itself. And then in the van, excuse me, in the van, you see it's going there. You see that big, what looks to be a tornado, I guess, kind of whirling around where it's sucking all the atmosphere out. And the doctor tells Alita and Erica, he says, "Buckle up, or buckle your seatbelts, girls," you know. And they're kind of going along there in the van, and the van's kind of looks like it's kind of tipped to one side there because of, I guess, well, it's probably the perspective too of the way Yukito Kishiro drew it, but it looks like the wheels are off the ground, and it's probably a kind of a bumpy ride, you know, at this point. So, you know, he tells them to buckle their seat belts. And Erica, of course, she's terrified. She says, "What happens when the canopy breaks?" And then the doctor says, "All the stored up air will leak out into space all at once, returning Mars to its original pressure of 0.007 atmospheres." I believe that's incorrect. I believe it's 0.006, but we're not going to quibble over 1/1000th of an atmosphere because it's close. Mars is actually the way it is now. The atmosphere is actually closer to being like the moon than it is, you know, being like the Earth. I mean, it's not much of an atmosphere. It's just very, very thin, and because of the core of Mars. Well, I don't want to get into too much of a science thing here. I used to be a physics major years ago, but you know, the core, internal core of the planet stopped rotating, which means that the magnetic field stopped, and that meant that the solar wind now has stripped the atmosphere off. So that's why Mars doesn't have much of an atmosphere right now. And then on the side there, so the temperature immediately drops well below. This is the doc telling them this. The temperature immediately drops well below zero, freezing all water. It's an environment that supports no people, animals, or plants. And then Alita kind of looks at the doc and she says, everyone's going to die, you know? And then, of course, they're in the van, and the doc says, "We're safe in here. This van is pressurized." So it's probably like it's heavy as well as being pressurized. So I guess they are safe, or relatively safe compared to the people that are out in the, you know, just kind of walking the road to Cydonia, you know. So they're, you know, it's a pretty scary event, I guess. If you really witness something like this, even though you would be in that van, it would be scary seeing things being sucked out like that. Because I don't know if anybody's ever seen a tornado. It'd be similar to that in some regard, I guess. That's a scary event, you know, seeing something like a tornado, you know. So anyway, they're in that van. They're kind of still going on. And, you know, basically what he's saying is, says the wands separate the baldachin into different sections. So one burst won't eliminate the entirety of Mars there at once. And then, of course, Erica's sitting there. She's in there. She's got her hands over her ears, and she says, "My ears." In other words, it's probably making a lot of noise, and it's probably like a real high-pitched frequency because of the air moving so fast. And the doc says, if we can just get to the wand to Cydonia territory, if we can just reach the wind tour, we'll be safe. And so you see there in that bottom panel, it just shows what looks to be like the outside environment where everything is being sucked out, you know, where all of the air is being, you know, kind of evacuated out into space. Let's see, where is that? Now, what's it doing here? It's not participating with me. Hold on just a second. I think I got maybe a little issue here. Let's do it like this then. No, that's not going to do it. Well, this is going nowhere fast.
Yeah, but this was okay.
Yeah, I can't. Let me see if I can.
In a little bit for some panels, not for all the.
Yeah,
panels.
what I'm talking about is advancing the slide. It's not letting me do it. There's no. Let me unshare and share again. Let's see if that'll do it.
So many cute.
Yeah, I know. It's all of a sudden my little arrows left for some reason.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right, so we were right. There, my little arrows are back. So now I got to just share my screen again. Hopefully you guys can see that. So anyway, there you see the bottom panel down there as the air is being sucked out, and it's all being evacuated into outer space. And you see the van there in the top panel. The van is still moving along. And the doc says there, he says, the wind's calmed down. That means the atmosphere is fully dropped. And Erica there says, she's still got her hands over her ears. And she says, my ears hurt, doctor. And the doctor said, that's your inner ear responding to the change in pressure. Keep swallowing, and it'll clear up eventually, So he's telling her. Now, Alita doesn't seem to affect her because I guess maybe she's a cyborg, I guess. So maybe her anatomy or her systems are adapting to it better than Erica, because Erica's actually a human girl, so but anyway, you can see now that at that bottom panel, you see their van is heading toward what looks like like a cloudy or hazy visual, and they're moving toward this what looks to be like a city. So the van's still there. They're safe in the van, but I guess all the people that were, outside the van.
Can you zoom to the city?
I'm sorry?
Can you zoom in to the city? I don't see it exactly.
You see here's the van on the left.
Is this a city? Really?
Yeah, well, on the right, well, it's kind of a hazy. It's kind of blurry because it's in the distance, and the atmosphere is still turbulent, I guess, even though most of it's sucked out. I guess you can't see it that well, probably. So
Batman has an important.
I can't see his. Yeah, let me.
Try to. Get him.
Yeah.
And the next one.
Yeah, he's not in backstage. So anyway, I have to. This is why I need two monitors.
It looks like a truck. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah,
that's the reason why I said.
Yeah,
the wrong.
So what the bad man was saying is kind of what I was saying a while ago, is the van is too heavy, to get lifted, which is feasible, and then of course tornadoes low pressure, so that's no problem. That the tornado is formed by low pressure, which is what you saw there in that previous panel, is that it would look like a tornado and they were driving by it, but the van is so heavy, I guess, and it's kind of like a medical vehicle, maybe probably more like a semi tractor trailer truck, or in England you call them lorries, I guess. It's kind of like that. It's extremely heavy, so it didn't get sucked out like the people that were walking along the road. And of course, he said there was a truck behind him was getting crushed. Yeah, maybe that truck wasn't. That's kind. That's probably just it wasn't as heavy as the van, I guess. So it was subject to having suffering damage. So anyway, the van in that top panel up there, the van is still moving along, and things are still pretty chaotic now. Probably most of the atmosphere has been sucked out by now. And by the way, that's called explosive decompression, is what happened there, in that, that hole in the dome just sucks out everything like really fast, And then Alita, she's looking out the window and she says, the sky's falling down, And the doc he looks at it, that must be the Bollichin falling to the ground without the atmosphere holding it aloof. He said it could completely flatten us, So anyway, you see there at the bottom, it looks to be like some kind of transport truck in front of them down there on that bottom panel. And they looks like they've come to a stop, or at least they're about to. And, it's, I guess debris is now starting to fall from the dome, I guess. and you know, it's going to be hazardous for anybody that's in there. And then, of course, the truck itself, you know, I guess it kind of tips over and the van swerves and misses it. And, you know, things are still pretty hectic there, I guess. Still debris is falling, as you can see. If you can see it very well, looks like little pieces of debris is starting to fall. The truck is still moving right along. And you can see there's just a bunch of debris on the ground there. Probably some of that is rocks from the actual terrain as well. And the truck is still moving along. So it looks like they may be coming out of it. And it looks like that for a while. But then the doc says, we're not going to make it. So anyway, it starts, I guess they going along and it starts tumbling off. Looks like what might be the side of a cliff.
Very good.
Yeah, that's not too good. So everybody in the van is freaking out. You know, Erica looks like she's freaking out. The doc is. Alita just looks like she has a kind of a
zoom
look,
in,
you know?
Zoom in this panel. This looks crazy.
See
Oh
right
man, our
imagine,
little girl.
Yeah, well, imagine being in this van when it's when it's kind of tumbling down, you know, the side of this hill or mountain or whatever it was, tumbling down, and it's just tumbling and rolling over and over, and you're inside. Now they got their seat belts on, so I guess, you know, that part of it, you know, is a little less dangerous, but it's still pretty dangerous, you know. Now the van is, since it was pressurized and was able to withstand that explosive decompression, it's probably pretty sturdy. So it looks like it may not get, you know, let me zoom in just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but there's Alita right here. And then here's Erica, and here's the doc up here. You can just barely make his face out. So anyway, they're all in the van, they're tumbling, and you know, they come to a stop. You know, I guess the doc turns the van off, I guess. You know, he's probably got a switch. And he looks over at the two girls, says, "Are you two okay?" And Erica says, "I got a bump now." So she evidently bumped her head on something, you know. Alita looks like she's just, you know, she just looked befuddled. You know, she doesn't, you know, let me zoom in on that. See, she doesn't look like she's
cute.
Yeah, you see, so she doesn't look like she's doesn't look like she's physically injured, and it looks like she's just puzzled, you know, to me, you know. But Erica looks like she's scared, you know. So, and the doc says, "So we survived, you know," and then he says, "Well, we haven't been crushed at the very least." And he says, "I'm not worried about
eating."
Yeah. Well, we're going to get to that. They're going to be eating more bee-mite, I guess. Probably something Angelus might like, since he likes Vegemite. So it's probably similar to that. So, but anyway, you know, the doc says, "I'm not worried about power or air leaks. We'll rest tonight, then see how things are outside in the morning." And the two girls are, you know, looks like he's spreading some bee-mite on the piece of bread, and the two girls, they're eating, you know, the bee-mite on bread.
Funny, because I'm having Vegemite for breakfast right now.
Oh, cool.
Hey!
Nice. And you can see Erica. Let me zoom in here. Erica says, "Yuck, more bee-mite bread." So she's not too keen on bee-mite, I guess. She probably has the same reaction to bee-mite as, say, many Americans would have to Vegemite. They're Angelus, probably. So anyway, it looks like, you know, for some reason, the doc, you know, he opens the door. I guess he's got got the girls in a pressurized container of some sort within the van. And he's got a spacesuit on, you know. So, you know, why the doctor would have a spacesuit in his van, I don't know why about that. But, you know, maybe he's just he just plans ahead a lot. He says, "It seems like we're very fortunate indeed," you know. So anyway, it looks like they've survived the worst of it. And the van is on its side. I don't know if you can see this. Let me zoom in here. You see the van's on its side. There he is right here. And then, of course, the door's open. The girls are inside still, but they're probably in a pressurized compartment there. Anyway, it has a little bit of a, looks like he's maybe thinking out loud here, the doc, is we ended up right beneath this rocky outcropping that sheltered us, but now we're trapped in on all sides. No choice but to wait here for rescue. So it looks like they're just waiting there now. Okay. So the van's going nowhere. You know, it's laying on its side and they're stuck. They can't get out. And then I guess the doc, I guess, he has a jack or a winch of some sort, and he, you know, kind of uprights the van. And now the van's back on its wheels. And, you know, Alita and Erica are looking out the window. Alita says, "Hey, what's that?" He said, "Doctor, there's something over there." And the doc, still in his spacesuit, he says, "A rescue patrol," you know. And you look at it, he sees a silhouette of what looks like a vehicle, you know, some kind of air transport device, spaceship perhaps, you know, that is coming to their location. So, you know, and then of course it looks like they've got some sort of turbines, I guess, on it. And then the doc says, the MBV, you know, which is, I guess, the kind of the bad guys, I guess. I'm not sure. Do you remember what this is, Angelus, what the MBV was? I don't remember that. I bet the bad man does. Let me go over to let me toggle back. Bad man, do you know what the MBV is? I have no clue what it is. It's probably the ruling authority on Mars.
Or some sort of government unit.
Yeah, exactly. So let me get back to the, and then of course it looks like a
Canopy.
Well, it looks like they got some
association, okay,
or some kind of propellers, or it wouldn't work where there was no atmosphere. Propellers wouldn't, but it's some kind of propulsion that's going on there, and it's kicking up dust, and I guess it, you know, kicks up a lot of dust. It looks like the doc is getting lost in the dust. And Erica screams, "Doctor!" You know, I mean, and Alita is looking out the window. And then, of course, they're landing just over the van is this vehicle of some sort. And you can probably see that pretty good, I guess. So the van, it's huge compared to the van. So it looks like some kind of, you know, some kind of transport vehicle that's not limited to just like aircraft. It may be able to travel in space and in atmosphere. So that's probably what that is. And then, of course, they're picked up by these folks, and it looks like that, you know, the top, let me zoom in on that. Looks like they've got, you know, food for them. Oh, too far, wrong way, wrong button. So you see at the top, looks like they got some kind of, you know, kind of like a lunch sack of some kind. It's got food in it with some drinks or something like that in it. And, you know, the three of them are sitting in there. They've been rescued by this group. Okay. The doc is sitting there. Looks like he's sweating it out a little bit. And I guess Erica says, "Doctor, are you hurt?" You know, and she says, "I'm fine." And then there's these two individuals in there, females. And it looks like they got some kind of military uniform on, or some kind of official government-looking uniform.
Yeah, some kind of androids, or
could be, yeah. Although you can't tell from this, they could be humans, but they look pretty similar, so they might be androids. And one of them says, "Please don't be shy. Do eat up." You know. So anyway, that's food they're giving them up at the top there. And then of course. You know, I guess Erica's asking how, you know, how, you know, I mean, why are you rescuing us? I guess would be the thought there. And then Alita takes a bite of the food. And she says, "It's sweet," you know, and Erica says, wow, this is much better than B-Mite. So anyway, there you go, Angela. Somebody doesn't like B-Mite, you know, it got something tastes better to them. So I guess one of the androids or one of the government, you know, military types or whatever they are says, so can you tell me why you two were trying to run away from me? And of course, that, you know, the Doc kind of hesitates. He says, I heard that the MVV is in the business of kidnapping. And then Alita, I guess Alita or Erica one says, MBV, what is that? And Erica says, is that her name? So anyway, a kid, you know, they wouldn't know what that is, you know. So anyway, the android / military person says it's abbreviation for the Mars Canopy Association. So, and she says her name is Moy, the Gartner of the MBV defined, or being 244. So in other words, that's her kind of, I guess that's kind of like her serial number, I guess. And her name is Moy.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
And of course, then I guess she's going on to explain, you know, the MBV uses micro machine technology to build and maintain the Balachin and the Silent, you know, or in other words, like those columns that are going up. And we have avoided contacting the surface dwellers since the treaty we made with the king 120 years ago. And I guess that, yeah, so they're getting a little bit of a history lesson here on this one, I guess. But this king, the great king Elfrida, shared a certain deal, or shared a certain deal with us. That conflict occurs over limited resources such as air, water, and arable land. And aggressive expansion of the Balachin and terraforming would ensure enough space for everyone. So I guess this organization or this government agency or whatever is kind of overseeing I wouldn't say colonization, because they've already terraformed it, it looks like, or at least they've got a dome over the planet. So they're probably well into terraforming it. That's okay. They're well into terraforming it. And so they've got these nano machines, I guess, that are going to repair the dome, I guess, automatically is what it seems to be. And then she said, but I must admit—
Can you go back and zoom in the footnotes? I don't see what.
Ah, there we go. Yeah,
written.
There we go. Yeah.
Maybe some explanation that could be helpful.
Yeah, the Mars Balachin Virin. So can you see that okay?
Ach, Verein.
Yeah,
it's association. The
Yes.
German word Verein is the English word association.
Okay. So the Mars Balachin Verein. So yeah.
Verein.
Verein. Yeah. My German is, yeah, you can see my German's not that good.
Yeah, it's okay. No,
but they do have a translation of a Mars Canopy Association.
Yeah,
so you're right, you know.
This is.
And it says down here that the Balachin Non-Aggression Treaty, a treaty between the MBV and the Great King Elfrida of Mars in ES 253. Okay. So that would be about 2210, I guess, in the year, you know, the Gregorian calendar. It'd be about 2210. Because I guess the ES years start in 1957 when Sputnik went up. So you add 1957 to 253, and you come out with 2210. So it's roughly 180 years almost in the future. Okay. I'll still be alive, so there we go. Okay, so anyway, I must see. I hope I don't reread too much of this, but I must admit that we underestimated the greed of humanity. Boy, that kind of sounds like she is an android now, doesn't it? It did not put an end to the fighting. The 18 lords remaining after the great king's passing were foolish, but they upheld the treaty. Sadly, the warlords who have been, and she's explaining this, sadly, the warlords who have arisen recently have no concept of pride or honor. And, excuse me. And then the doc says, you mean the Himmelbroch wasn't from an asteroid, but a military action? So in other words, all this destruction, I guess, that would happen then was not from an asteroid. It was from a war, I guess. And I guess in this particular case, I guess where they sabotaged the dome, you know, that wasn't caused by an asteroid. Somebody sabotaged it with an explosive, you know. And of course, the woman or android or whatever she is, it was an undeniable act of sabotage. And then the doc says, that's preposterous. How many human lives were lost in that tragedy? He puts his hands on his face. He said, what madness, oh my stars. And Alita, you know, and here's where we get the first inkling. Let me zoom in on that, where how Alita's heart is, you know, even as a little girl, you know, she kind of offers the doc her drink and says, don't cry, you know, like that. So she's really, I mean, you know, we know Alita in her adult form is really a warrior, you know, kind of a really exquisite or elite fighter, you know, but here she just shows you how she has a really good heart.
So,
you know? Yeah, that's right. And the android / military woman, whatever she is, she says, meteoroids are not strong enough to rupture the Balanchin. This is a scorched earth tactic by a retreating army. So I guess the terraforming wars are at least the remnants of it is still going on at this point in 2210. And then I guess she says, allow me to be very clear. I did not rescue you out of a sense of compassion. You have lived your lives under the Balanchin as though this were Earth, not Mars. It has facilitated your very existence. Now that the Balanchin has been damaged, you have an obligation to help reconstruct it. Do you not? That also sounds like the way she's talking sounds like an android to me. So maybe she is an android.
Yeah, I think
Kendrick.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the doc.
Yeah,
said,
but she's right. Or
yeah,
it is right. Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Well, I think not necessarily if you went to another planet, but if you went to another place on Earth and you started living in that community, you'd want to help, you know, keep the community.
Yeah,
going,
exactly.
you know,
no, it's the same on Mars.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, the doc says, after she says, you're going to help us reconstruct it, right? So he says, of course, I'd be happy to help, but what can I do? And
that's interesting.
Yeah, the android says, I do not like secrets or innuendo, so I will direct you. I require one of your lives. Oh, man. Now we're getting real is what we're doing. So, you know, she's kind of ruthless, you know. And he said, the doc says, what? You know, my chair, you know, and then I guess she's picking up some device. We must build a fresh salute or column. I hope I'm not how do you, let me zoom in on that. Smendrick, it's S-A-umlaut U-L-E. Well, how do you pronounce that?
Säule, it's
Säule, that's right. That's right.
The same thing as a
column.
Man.
Yeah.
No, I forgot. Oh, my English is so horrible.
No, it's not. It's like a column. So your English is good. Anyway, so we must build a fresh Säule. Say that again, Aunt Smendrick. Säule. Here, in order to reconstruct the Balanchin, that will require the flesh and blood of a living human being. So I guess this column or Säule is a living organism. I guess it's kind of organic.
That could be the reason.
And then, you know, this android-looking individual says, you will become the bed for this seed to grow within and form a pillar. A pillar, that's what I was looking for, the word, for mankind, you know. So anyway, it's a kind of a ruthless culture, isn't it? I mean, there's society, you know, I mean that, you know, human life means nothing. So we're going to kill you and get your blood so we can reform this pillar. That's pretty ruthless, I think.
Yeah, this is strange.
And then of course he says, a pillar, you mean all the soylent,
Yeah, it's
are made from
correct.
people? And she says, that is accurate. Every soile is built through sacrifice. Many of our sisters happily gave themselves up for the purpose, but I was doubtful. Why must we always sacrifice ourselves for the sake of barbarians who do not uphold the treaty? Isn't it unfair? You know? And then of course the doc, he's sweating it now because he knows he's bigger than the girls, so he's going to be the natural choice because he's got more organic material to donate, I suppose. He says, please, I'll repay you in any way I can. Just don't ask this of us. And she said, repay? We have no use for the batteries you use as primitive bartering currency. We all provide our own power. So maybe she is an android. So who should it be? So in other words, she's asking the three of them, who should it be? Now, to me, the obvious choice is a doctor since he has more organic material.
Okay.
But she says, you are too old. Your telomeres are quite short by now. That's unless you're the creaky and you're immortal. Your telomeres are still long. But anyway, that's another story. And he says, looking at Alita, she says, your body is 80% mechanical, not enough organic cells.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So that is interesting, isn't it? Because we've always said that Alita, at least adult Alita, was 98% machine. So maybe she's a little bit more organic here since she's a little girl, you know, and maybe there's not as much mechanism, and her brain is probably not a lot different than it is in an adult. Maybe you grow a little bit, you know. And then finally, that she looks at Erica and says, you've lost your left eye, but the rest of you will suffice. It's you. You're the one. So she's looking at Erica like saying, okay, you're going to be the one. We're going to take your life so we can rebuild this pillar.
Crazy.
And then I guess Erica says, I suppose I could go along with you, but I have one condition. And then the android says, I've already accepted the fact she's an android, I guess. Tell me, do not harm the children, you know. And then somebody grabs the doctor from behind, puts something over his mouth, you know, and she says, I'm speaking to her. And Erica says, I'll be the soile if it's with Yoko. So in other words, she wants Yoko, she wants both of them to do it. Now that's pretty, I guess we get the first inkling of Erica here and how self-centered or even to the point of narcissism that Erica is compared to Alita, who was really concerned about the doctor being sad, saying, please don't cry, you know. So I think we got a pretty good idea there. And then Alita or Yoko says Erica, and then Erica says, we'll be together forever, Yoko. And Yoko says, yeah, I'll always be with you. Very well, I shall have it arranged. So just let Dr. Finch go, they say. You have my word, you know. So Dr. Finch now, he looks like he's worried. He's kind of, you know, having second thoughts about this and that sort of thing like that. And then Alita says, goodbye, doctor. Thank you and Erica says, thank you for everything. Now the doctor's starting to feel bad. Looks like if you look down that panel at the bottom, here's these two cute little innocent girls, you know, and then they're willing to give their lives, you know, to become a soile and or a pillar. And the doctor now is just kind of, you know, he's really feeling bad about it. He's really having second thoughts. Looks like, yeah, Erica is a cyborg, isn't she? She does have a cybernetic arm, it looks like. So she's not 100% or total replacement cyborg like Alita, but she is a cyborg, I guess. Let me jump back over here. I want to make sure somebody didn't get kicked out. No, you didn't. Okay, cool. So now here's, I guess, an alarm or something comes on, I guess, and then what the android looks over and says, was it Bene? B-E-I-N-E. What is that? Bien? Smendrick, my German's horrible. B-E-I-N-E. What is that? How do you pronounce that?
Beine.
Beine, that's right. Oh, yeah, I should know that.
Same as legs.
Yeah.
I'm not
I should have known that right off. Damn. Anyway, Bina 244, Gartner Moy, so in other words, it looks like they call him and this face appears, I guess what looks to be like a projection device of some sort. I don't know. It looks like an older individual. And his name is President Neff. So President Neff, I guess. What would you ask of me? So anyway,
Priesterin. It's
priest. Yeah.
A female priest.
Yeah. So what would you ask of me? He says, or she says, you must not involve yourself with those children. Release them at once. And then of course the android says, this is the 13th oracle, an oracle, type thing. He's like, this is an oracle, kind of deal like this. So it looks like this female priest is going to save Erica and Alita. And so I guess through the quantum manicy of the Solar Network was prophesized the arrival of a child with the sign of change. Now that's probably Alita, I guess, isn't it? So I guess they got some kind of a religious thing going there where there was a prophecy where a little girl or somebody or a child was going to show up, and the android says, and they, or I guess it's an android, or it could just be a female, and they are the ones. One of them is the female priestess says, perhaps both, assuming they can survive their fate. And then the last panel, of course, is
this is
the two of them. They're two cute little girls. They're going to sleep. And anyway,
panel.
Yeah, that's right. They say they are certain to face terrible trials many times in their lives, and if they overcome them, perhaps they might change the world. So that's where it stops right there. That's the end of it. So anyway, just kind of reviewing this. Yeah, ausgezeichnet, nicht wahr? So, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so we went through this explosive decompression, and there's that tornado looking thing that the bad man was telling us about. And of course, they're all in the van. They survive, because the van is pressurized and too heavy to be lifted up. And remember, they were on their way to Cydonia, and they're still moving on, and then of course, they almost hit this big truck. And they swerve and miss the truck, but they ended up toppling over the side of a hill or a mountain or whatever it was, small mountain or whatever. So they get toppled down there, and then they certainly they survived that. And then of course, Dr. Finch goes outside. He's checking it out. He gets the van back on all four wheels, or actually, I guess that's a 3x3 is what that is. And then, of course, the MBV shows up, and then rescues them. And there's their vehicle. And then, of course, they're inside the vehicle. And the MBV, the personnel tell them to go ahead, eat up, And then, of course, the girls say, "Wow, this is a lot better than B-Mite," which is funny. So anyway, and they're eating and drinking their drink, that kind of thing like that. And then, of course, the female android or whatever, she's goes into a little bit of a history lesson with them, telling them, about the building of the dome and the pillars that are holding it up, and that the what appeared to be an accident was not actually an accident, caused by an asteroid or a meteor or something like that, but it was actually an act of sabotage. And then, of course, the female android or whatever she is says, "I didn't rescue you because out of the goodness of my heart. We need one of you to give your life, you know, so you can, you know, we can rebuild this pillar, you know, because the pillar is evidently organic material and it's a living type creature. I guess like a tree, I guess would be my thought about it.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, and they need that. She says we need the blood of a human being, and then of course, you know, they go through the process of trying to figure out who it's going to be. The doctor's too old. His telomeres. That's a DNA. What I don't know if anybody what telomeres is. It's basically what holds your DNAs together. It's like little caps on the end of your DNA strand, and the older you get, the shorter those telomeres, or the smaller that cap becomes. And then of course the doctor's too old, so his organics is not going to work. Alita is she's predominantly mechanical, you know, so she doesn't have enough organic cells. But Erica has enough organic cells. You know, she's I guess a partial cyborg because she does have a cybernetic arm. So she says you're the one, and then of course eventually. You know, Erica says, okay, I'll do it, but as long as Erica and I, or rather Alita and I both do it. And then of course she says, Alita will be together forever. You know, one of the things that strikes me about this is even though they're taking their blood and all that, I'm wondering, you know, if their consciousness is going to be in these pillars. I guess any humans, I would doubt that very seriously. And then, of course, you know, the girls say, okay, we'll do it, but you let Dr. Finch go, you know. So the female says, very well, you know, he can leave, you know. And then, of course, the girls real sweet, you know, they say, goodbye, Doc, thanks for everything, you know. And now he's really feeling sad about this whole situation, you know. And then, of course, this priestess thing comes up on the TV, I guess is what it is, or whatever. It could be.
Okay, I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. This is the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you think is?
See, so she's
really?
Well, it could be like a physical projection, you know, kind of like.
Yeah. I think it's
like a hologram or something.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So this is a priestess named Naif, and then of course this female, I guess, is one of her subjects, or you know, somebody that she is, you know, that this priestess is in command of. So what would you ask of me, you know? And then of course the priestess says, no, you can't do this to these kids, you know. And the priestess the woman cyborg says, what, you know, what you're, you know, and then of course, then they show them driving off. They let them go. The doctor is driving them, and the two little girls are there. And then of course, this holographic projection, I guess is what it is there. And of course, the female says, are they the ones, you know? And they said, perhaps they are, if they can survive their fate. You know, they got a lot of trials and tribulations in front of them, and perhaps if they survive, they can they'll change the world or something like that. And then you see the two little girls right there. They're kind of they're asleep, you know, kind of cute little scene, you know. So so that's where it stops.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
And interesting, I think. It's
what I thought was interesting is that both of them were willing to give their lives, you know, for the betterment of, you know, making sure the dome gets repaired so people could continue to live there, or something for the community, if you want to think of it, you know. So anyway, that's it, folks, you know.
Oh, great.
Let me see now that I'm back over here.
Episode,
okay, the ship is called buying a 244. Okay, I got that. All right. 1956. That's right, Bad Man. You're right. That's when Sputnik went up, wasn't it? So yeah, it's 2209, I guess, in the Gregorian calendar. So yeah, I was off by one. You're right. For some reason, I thought it was 57. I don't know why that is. Anyway, let me just click through this because you know, I when I'm over there, I can't see the other screen, you know. So Well, he has an organic body at least. Okay, that's that woman. So, yeah, she may be, and she may have, what she might be is like Alita is in the movie. She has, except in reverse, her body may be organic, but she may have a brain chip. So, who knows, The Soylay network is future predicting like Melchizedek. Okay.
What's this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Melchizedek.
The rock formation's interesting. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. It was 1957. I knew I wasn't going crazy. I wasn't absolutely sure though. But yeah, that's ES1. So ES0 would be 1956. Yeah, that's right, bad man. Okay. What is this over here? All right, let me get out of, I want to get out of Discord. Okay, because it's messing up my taskbar. Okay, guys, that's pretty much it. Any thoughts?
Very interesting. Very. You can learn from each episode.
Yeah, go ahead, Angelus.
I've only got one thought. Guess what it is?
Uwu.
Yeah, Uwu would be a good comment.
Yeah, those little girls. I mean, man, I tell you, Kishiro he's really a great artist. Look how he's got that draw on there. They look so cute, don't they? So he did a really great job there on that, I think.
Yeah, what I think is the idea behind this this episode is very interesting. I have to think a longer time about it. I didn't know it before. It's what if you have to give your life to rescue the future of other individuals? That's the important question, and yeah, great. Yeah.
Well, they certainly seemed to be willing to do it, didn't they? They had one condition.
Yes,
well,
they, kids, they are still kids.
Yeah,
but
right.
I don't see. Maybe you can go back, but in the panel, but I don't see that they are hesitating. Or do you see any doubts or?
Well, I do see that Erica here says that she's willing to do it, but she had one condition, and that is if,
that's the only condition. Yeah. But
then
no,
the two of them. Then of course Alita agrees immediately, and then the two of them together have a condition is that you let Dr. Finch go. So,
wow,
that's pretty good right there. And look how cute this scene is right here.
Yeah. It's so nice.
Yeah. You see these two little girls looking up to this adult, and the adult tells them, "You have my word." When they got them to commit, hey, you let Dr. Finch go, So, and now you see him, he's looking really guilty about it, that these two little girls are willing to give their life just so, they, for the future, of the area there on Mars, plus for his life as well, so.
Great. Absolutely great.
Boy, that looks cute. And of course, look how sweet that is. Goodbye, doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything. And he looks like God. He's so guilty, he's look how cute Alita is. She is really cute, And then of course there's that priestess and
This is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course there they are. So, yep, way too cute, I think. Just too much ooh there. Now, Alita has to be no more than, say, 4 years old, maybe 5 tops. My guess is that Erica is 6 or 7, maybe. That'd be my guess. That's a pretty grown-up decision for them to make, wasn't it? A 4 or 5-year-old.
A grown-up position or intention.
Yeah.
But
Bad man. Okay, bad man. You ought to be on this stream. Alita's only 3, so I guess Erica's like more like 5 or 6. Yeah, there we go.
I'm not sure if she understands the consequences in total, but maybe.
She seemed to be okay with heading off into the oblivion with Erica. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it, folks. That's pretty much volume 6 of Mars Chronicles. So I really like the way the panels are drawn on this too. I mean, Kishiro,
Chibi Alita.
Yeah, it looks like a Chibi Alita almost, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Yeah. Of course, in the future, these two become mortal enemies. Which is interesting that Kishiro can do that. Oh, spoiler. I'm sorry about that, folks. So that was a spoiler. So.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
At this point, if people didn't read the manga, it's on them. It has been out for literally decades. The movie has been out for like 5 years, and you learn about their rivalry in Last Order, which has been out since even longer. So there is no spoiler anymore. Like, honestly, if they didn't read it, too bad for them.
Yeah, that's right. Although I'll try to relent on doing too many spoilers. Particularly like the last 3 volumes, at least, of Mars Chronicles. Not volumes; these were This is a chapter we went over today, but. Although it says volume on it, but I know like volumes 7, 8, and 9 and 10 soon to come out. Alita she's kind of a young adult, she's like 17, 18 years old, somewhere in that area, Here, look at this. Now here's something that's interesting. Looks like the bad man has read this. That priestess Neif became a pillar herself. So, wow.
Yeah, she mentioned it later. She even says that she became a pillar, and the body she uses is a sort of intermediary, but she's not actually like a real living body. She's not inside it or something like this. It's like remote.
Well, here's the thing, though. If she became a pillar, or years earlier from this event right here, that tells me maybe her consciousness survived, and they got it probably uploaded into some computer system or something like that. And even though she's a pillar now, her consciousness can still interact with humans through this. And I'm conjecturing here through some computer interface of sort, because that would look like some kind of either it could have been TV, but it could have been a holographic projection too. So that's pretty interesting, I think.
That makes me asking, what is this pillar in real? Is it a material thing or a mixture of,
I would think what I would think is the blood, if they were going to use the blood of a human, and it was a material that they had to have, and she said it would be the seed, of this pillar. It seems like to me that blood would be like in a chemical reaction, be like a catalyst, and it would cause, other materials, to grow or something like that, perhaps. I don't know. I'm just guessing or estimating, but or speculating, actually.
Yeah, kind of form of energy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know about. Well, a gardener has to become a soiler to be.
So those two androids
this
must have been
is-
gardeners. They were gardeners. Yeah.
This is interesting. Thanks,
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, any other thoughts about this?
So many. We need more streams.
Yeah.
What is?
Yeah, I really enjoy reading them. I read through the Mars. I not read through it. I read it. I mean, I when I read even the original manga in the Last Order. Now it's been a while since I've read it, so memory fades a little bit. But I just really concentrate on. And I think everybody on this stream knows the story about one night I couldn't go to sleep, so I got up and thought I'd start reading the manga, and maybe it might put me to sleep, and I got up at like 12:30 or something like that. I couldn't sleep. So I go downstairs, I start reading the manga, and the next thing I knew, it was 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
Same here. If you are interested in something, then time doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you read this stuff and you can't put it down. You just read the chapters. What's going to happen on the next chapter? And you start reading that one, Yeah.
That's a very special art by Kishiro.
Yeah.
To make the people, to keep the people, the audience
engaged.
Yeah. That's the right word.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. I could have looked at that little panel there of those two little girls sleeping there. It looked really cute. And I'm saying that as a grandpa, because I am a grandfather. So, I'm not that way, but yeah, that's they really, Kishiro really made them look cute, didn't he? I mean, well, he makes Alita look cute when she's older, when she's a teenager and in her 20s and 30s. I mean, he makes her look cute, doesn't he? Although I would say in Last Order, she's a little bit bitchy in the Last Order, but that's another story, I guess. So, okay, guys, any other thoughts about the manga?
Nope.
No.
Are there any other topics you guys want to bring up? Any at all?
Except the fact that I made a random Alita reply on a random X post, and it's like getting a lot of, like, literally hundreds and hundreds of likes. And
you want to share your screen on it?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, share your screen and just
I'm saving it for Radio Chaos.
Oh, you're saving it for Radio Chaos.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
tomorrow.
And yeah, so even some of the haters are starting to come out, and it's like, we must be getting the sequel soon, because everyone's coming out.
Yeah.
And making comments, good and bad. So mostly good.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? When we get Alita 2, we get Alita Fallen Angel. Creek's not stopping. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and we're gonna get Alita 3. And even when we get Alita 3, I'm gonna start pushing for Alita 4.
And so on and so on.
What is it, Smendrick? Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben. I mean, as many as I can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of numbers free till 99.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, maybe the Creek may not make it to Alita 99, but but that's okay. I'll still see it in spirit. So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All right, guys, did we miss anything? I don't think we did. Anyway, as you can see there in that middle panel there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek. That's for sure. And that's because he wants a sequel. He wants not just a sequel, he wants plural sequels. That's what he wants. So, and she wants sequels too. So we're of like mind on that one. So anyway. And of course, this is our Queen Rosa. And of course, I want to give some shout outs to Jesse Fisher and Elle Lamont, you know, because they brought Screwhead to light. We want all three of these ladies to be in the sequel for sure. And Alita too, you know, particularly I want Screwhead to be on Alita's motorball team. And of course, certainly Rosa's got to come back, you know, as Alita. If for some reason Rosa doesn't do Alita in the future, which I know she wants to, so that's not an issue there, but I will be disappointed. I'd still probably watch it, but I would be disappointed, you know, because I think Rosa's really great. I remember watching that movie the first time and I saw the credits roll up. I thought, who the hell is Rosa Salazar? Because she sure is a good actress, man, you know. So anyway, these ladies are number one in the Creeks book, that's for sure, in terms of being actresses and that kind of thing, you know. So because they're really good at what they do. You want to talk about this tomorrow, Angelus? You want me to? Because I think probably Maxie, he likes to do these manga readings, so he's probably going to be the host tomorrow.
I think Maxie's going to be the host tomorrow.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to do a manga reading tomorrow. And,
Nice.
you know, if you remember from last time on Radio Chaos, we left off with Yolg had kind of betrayed Alita in Figure 4, and they got captured by the barjack, you know. So we're going to see how that's going to turn out now. You know, I mean, the next chapter, of course, is going to be the dog eat dog chapter. So we'll see how that goes. So tune in for that one tomorrow. And that says 212. I for the Creek didn't update the number. It's supposed to be episode 216. So. All right, guys. So anyway, I guess why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it, and the Creek is the producer, and I'm running the stream, so that's why it's there mainly. And to paraphrase Gruwishka, I'm only here for our girl. And of course, in the Alita Army, we're all only here for our girl. You know, we want those sequels, Disney. Damn it all. Just give us these sequels. Quit messing around with us and give us the sequels. We want them. For sure, you know. And that just leaves us with one last thing. Unless you guys, any last thoughts, Matu?
Oh, no.
Smendrick, you got any final words?
No.
How about you, Angelus?
No.
All righty then. So I guess that's going to be on my count of three. We'll do the call to action, and that'd be 1, 2, 3. Film those sequels, baby. So we will catch you guys next week on the Alita live stream, and we'll catch you tomorrow on Radio Chaos. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.